Hello, and welcome to our volunteer orientation. I'm Nancy Steele, Friends of the Verde Rivers Executive Director. It's my pleasure to give you an intro to the orientation. Friends of the Verde River works collaboratively for a healthy, flowing Verde River system. We envision a Verde River and tributaries that support our natural environment, vibrant communities, and quality of life for future generations. Why am I telling you this? Because as volunteers, it's important that you understand a little bit about the organization. You're our ambassadors. You're out there in the world doing good work for the river. Now, in what I just told you about our mission and vision, there were a couple of words that I want to unpack. We talk about the Verde River system, and we talk about the Verde River and tributaries. And it's important that you understand that the Verde River and Friends of the Verde River is not just about the Verde River itself, or even about the Verde River in the Verde Valley. We're about the entire watershed, also known as the Verde River system. So the watershed shown in this outlined area extends all the way up north to the Wallapai Indian Reservation and all the way south to the Phoenix metropolitan area. On the east, there's Payson. On the west, we've got Prescott Valley. You might not be used to thinking about those areas when you're thinking about the Verde River, but they are all in the land area over which, when water flows, it ends up in the Verde River. I also want to point out that the highest point in the Verde River system is Humphreys Peak, and the lowest point is where the Verde meets the Salt River. Now, and another important thing about the Verde is that we're of national significance. This is not just a little river that we love in Arizona. Over 60 miles of the Verde River shown in this highlighted area, including the main stem Verde and Fossil Creek, is federally recognized under the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act. So we're important nationwide. Now, a little bit about Friends of the Verde River. We are in our 10th year as an incorporated organization. Of course, before that, people have been working to preserve the river. But as an organization, Friends of the Verde River has been around for 10 years. We have 10 full-time professional staff, plus we have additional staff that work for us as interns or work seasonally on habitat restoration. We're governed by a board of directors. And I also want to point out that if your idea of volunteering involves governance of a nonprofit organization, give me a call. We're always looking for more people who want to join our board of directors. Our program areas include habitat restoration, sustaining flows, and community stewardship. And we need volunteers in all those areas. So why do we need you? The Verde River is in danger of running dry, and we can't do this alone. This is a big issue that we want you to help us with. River flow is declining, and we have evidence from USGS stream gauges. In this case, we're showing you data from from the last 30 years, but of course we could take the data even farther back. It does exist. The top graph is showing data from around Paulden. The bottom graph shows data from below Camp Verde. Now we take this data from June. Each one of these dots is a 7-day average June low flow for each year. And why do we look at June? Because that's a month that is not influenced by the winter or spring runoff, nor is it influenced by the water falling from the skies during our monsoon season. But as you can see, over time, there has been a decline in the river flow. Now, in 2018, 2019, we developed a watershed report card to give us more information about the state of the Verde watershed. And as you can see from this image, the watershed as a whole scored a C+. We looked at the watershed in the areas of water, habitat, and communities. All three areas are important for the health of the Verde watershed. And so you can look at our website, get more information about this, but in general, our habitats are doing pretty good. I mean, our communities are doing pretty good. Habitat and water are moderate. We also scored each of these 7 subregions in the watershed, and you can see that the scores were different. 3 of the subregions scored good, 4 of them scored moderate. So this provides us a snapshot and also tells us about trends, and we'll be updating this watershed report card as we go along. Out of the report card, we want to know how we can improve the scores. And so I don't expect you to read this and memorize it or tell people about it, but I'm just putting this image up here because I want to show you that there are so many different ways that we can help improve the watershed. Everything from reversing human-caused erosion to removing invasive plants. And working together, we can help improve these scores. I also want to point out that in our mission is the word collaboratively. We work with a lot of different people and a lot of different organizations, including the Nature Conservancy, including the cities in our watershed and the county, including the U.S. Forest Service, Arizona Game and Fish. It takes an army, a committed army of people to help the Verde River. And you have joined that group by taking the first step and saying you want to be a volunteer. So in conclusion, I want to thank you. Thank you for being a river hero. You're my river hero. And I really appreciate that you're taking the time to volunteer for the Verde. And now I'm going to turn you over to our next speaker. Thanks again.
Hi, my name is Elaine Nichols. I'm the Habitat Restoration Program Coordinator with Friends of the Verde River. I coordinate our on-the-ground work throughout the watershed. We do this work to protect and improve the important resource that the Verde River provides for wildlife and humans in the area. This work is not possible without our committed community member volunteers like you, so I'm very excited to showcase our upcoming volunteer opportunities. Gully Busters is a new effort to map and measure areas of high erosion throughout the watershed. This photo on the right shows a gully system. As these move through the landscape, they decrease the ability for soil to stay in place. In the areas where active erosion is happening, water is less able to be absorbed into the ground and plants are less able to survive. Also, when this soil is lost, it can flow downstream to waterways like the Verde River and lead to water quality issues. This volunteer opportunity would involve heading out to predetermined locations and using Survey 123 app to record information. Volunteers interested in this would be trained in how to properly measure head cuts and fill out the form. If you like hiking, navigating, you can use a tape measure and fill out a form, then this could be a great fit for you. The information you will collect will be used to determine where to install structures like these to reduce erosion. The aim of this structure is to slow down water as it flows through the rocks so it doesn't flow away and erode sediment, but instead absorbs into the immediate ground. There is a major need in the Verde watershed for reliable and consistent water quality data. We are looking for community members who are interested in committing to regularly going out to test water quality. With funding from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, Friends is coordinating a community science water quality monitoring effort in partnership with Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, or ADQ. We've worked with ADQ to identify places of high priority within the watershed. The first year of this project will be focused on Oak Creek below Sedona. We are aiming to start this monitoring effort this fall. In order to address water quality issues, we first need concrete evidence that they even exist. This monitoring project will inform decision makers, and with this information, we can draw attention to areas that need restoration and get on the ground projects implemented. Friends is also looking for birders who are interested in monthly outings to survey bird populations in areas where we have implemented restoration efforts. With help from Audubon, we started a pilot transect this year and are looking to learn and potentially expand to other important bird areas in the watershed. I got to go out with the birders for the first survey and it was a blast. So if you know birds, you should have fun with this one. A BioBlitz is an event that focuses on finding and identifying as many species of plants and animals as possible within a specific area over a specific time frame. These events allow us to get a good snapshot of the biodiversity within an area. We held our first BioBlitz for Martin Luther King Jr. Day of 2021. Volunteers used the app iNaturalist to keep track and share species and locations. We were able to use this information to measure biodiversity and locate invasive species of interest. Volunteers can participate in a BioBlitz by going out in the field and completing observations in iNaturalist. And also, if you're good at Plant ID, you can help on the back end by being an identifier online and helping the observers determine what plants they saw in the field. Last year, when we were unable to host events, we started the hashtag Verde campaign, where volunteers could go out on their own and clean up litter at various locations throughout the watershed, and then post about it on social media using hashtag Verde and tagging friends. We had a great participation and we will continue to do these types of events. So look out for us on social and don't forget to use our hashtag if you work to make the Verde more purdy. Restoration field days have been ongoing for over a decade now. We typically plan 3 to 4 field days in the fall and winter time, with a large event for Martin Luther King Jr. Day in January. These pictures explain these days very well. We can see wonderful Verde River volunteers out cleaning up trash, removing invasive species, removing graffiti, and planting trees in a restoration area. We are very excited to get these events back up and running this fall. We do have some remote volunteer opportunities for those who want to help from afar. With our new bird survey effort comes new data entry need. We also have GIS data cleanup that does require a GIS background. And then, like I mentioned before, iNaturalist identifiers are people who have a botanist background and are interested in logging into iNaturalist from home and helping ID what people photographed and observed in the field. Those are all of our habitat restoration volunteer opportunities at Friends of the Verde River. I'm so excited to get these projects going and have you join us to work collaboratively for a healthy flowing Verde River. If you have any questions, my email is elaine@verderiver.org, and I look forward to seeing you on the river. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Melanie Miles and I am Friends Events and Outreach Coordinator and a member of the Community Stewardship team. My team works to educate, engage, and inspire members and visitors of the community to promote stewardship for the Verde River. We connect with local businesses, host events and fundraisers, and provide volunteer opportunities for members of the community to learn more as well as get to know each other. One of the main events that I would like to talk to you about today is a very, very special event that's been going on for over 20 years in the community, and it's the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival. This event brings together members of the community for volunteer opportunities and attracts over 400 people to the Verde Valley to learn about our species and experience the wildlife and beauty of this area. Now we host in-person tours, host educational workshops, provide vendors, artists, lots of different opportunities here. And there really is something for everyone when it comes to volunteering. Now I've listed out a few here of the main departments as to which you could volunteer. However, there are many, many more. This is a very detailed event and brings together so many people, and everybody has a very good time. So if you're looking for something in which you want to work in a great team environment and, you know, really bring some joy to the people of the Verde Valley for a weekend, this is the opportunity for you. And I am happy to provide anybody with more information about this. So within the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival this year, we would really like to continue to offer opportunities for children to learn more about the Verde Valley on their own level. This includes what Elaine had spoke about, which is the Verde Valley Community BioBlitz. We would love to host nature walks and provide activities for crafts and different learning activities for children, as well as educational workshops so that they can learn the importance of these species and the Verde River itself. So if you are interested in working with children or have any experience leading nature tours or are comfortable doing so, please reach out to me. This would be a great great opportunity to help the little people in our community learn more. And here's some great photos that we have of the children learning of some of our past events. It is a really, really great thing to teach the younger kids about the importance of our area and our environment. And finally, this is a really special opportunity for some of our maybe more seasoned volunteers. We are invited to many different events throughout the year as vendors, and we would love to go and promote either our events and fundraisers or just spread our mission and the importance of keeping the Verde River healthy. So if you are comfortable or believe that you have this knowledge or drive to do so, please reach out to me. We are happy to provide more information about this. And here's my email. So if anybody would like more information or have any questions for me after this video, I'm happy to talk to you more. So thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for coming today.
Hello, my name is Marcia Fouts, and in 2009 I was lucky enough to meet with a group of friends that wanted to make projects happen on the river rather than just talking about the river. We're standing here in a beautiful spot named Big Spring. It was named by the Apaches, and when we first got started here, this was nothing but invasive plants. You couldn't even bushwhack your way through here. We've gone on to do other trail making projects and plant removal projects. We put people in canoes so they can experience the river from a different vantage point. We're really proud of the work that we have done here. We call it boots on the ground, and we're hoping that you'll come join us. Put your boots on the ground so we can always use more help to help out the river.